Hey yo, what's going on guys? It's your boy Jack Phoenix Sean here, and welcome back to Spooky Scary Saturday Part 20th, which is the last part of this series 2. In this series, in this part which is actually the last part of the series, we're gonna be reacting to 3 more animation for this entire series. Now, I have done a lot of series already. I've done series 1 and series 2. I need to do more, which is series 3, series 4, all the way to series 10. So I'm trying my best to get more than that. And if you guys would like me to continue series 3, series 4, series 5, all the way to 10, subscribe if you guys are new. Turn on the post notification to get notified whenever I upload a new video, which is Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yesterday I couldn't upload because of the internet connection. Once again, it always messed up when I'm always recording, and so that's why I have to skip that turn. But today I couldn't get a double upload because it's way too late. So if I let's say if I upload this video at night time, it will be super late. So yep, there won't be any double uploads for today. There's going to be one video for today's, which is kind of boring, but I hope you guys still enjoyed it. And also leave a like on this video. Let's aim for 20 and more likes, 20 plus likes. I know you guys will do that. So yeah, smash that like button, go and burn it. And yes, follow all of my social medias, my Twitter and my Instagram, and go and visit my merch store. As I'm wearing my hoodie right now, you will be getting the same thing. I have released new hoodies, new mugs, new t-shirts, new t-shirts, new stickers, everything. It's created for you guys, so you guys can go get it yourself. The link will be in the description down below, so go and check it out. And without further ado, let's get started with the first animation right now. Alright, so for this part, all the videos that I'm going to be reacting to is going to be Nightmare Tales animation scary stories. So shout out to you guys for being inside my video. Nightmare Tales, shout out to you guys for being inside my video. Alright, so the first animation is called The Bus Stop. Scary story animated. So without further ado, let's watch. The Bus Stop.
On a dark autumn night, a lady who had just finished conducting a training session at a factory in the countryside stood alone at a bus stop, patiently waiting for the bus to arrive and take her back into the city. 10 minutes had passed. The bus should have arrived by now, she thought to herself, and yet there she still was, waiting. Then,
why are you so alone?
out of the corner of her eye, she saw something. A man was slowly approaching towards the bus stop, and her. Please don't be a weirdo, she thought to herself. Where the hell is this bus? Sure enough, when the person entered the light of the bus stop, she was filled with a feeling of dread. He looked homeless and reeked of a foul odor. $3, he said.
What the?
Excuse me? She replied. $3, he repeated. I'm sorry, I don't have $3, she replied. And then he just stood there, silently staring at her. She became terrified at this point and was about to ask him to move away when he spoke again. $3.
What the heck?
She had had enough. This guy was genuinely giving her the creeps, and she felt scared and vulnerable. Look, I don't have $3, she snapped at him. Now leave me alone, or I'll call the police. He looked at her, then he looked around, and then just left. He walked past her and headed on his way down the road into the night. He had moved on but this certainly didn't make her feel any better. She replayed in her head what had just transpired, and then quickly began to think of what she should do next. She was all alone, in an unfamiliar area, waiting for a bus that looked like it would never come.
There's no bus at night time.
Now she felt extremely frightened. What if he came back? What would she do then? As she decided to get her phone and call a taxi, the bus arrived. Oh, thank goodness, she thought. And as soon as the door opened, she jumped aboard and took a seat. Her heart was racing, but she was safe. The door closed, and she asked the driver, "How much?" The driver replied, $3. He knocked her unconscious, switched out the lights, and then drove away, off into the night.
Oh no. The driver was the person that was asking for $3. Bro, you shouldn't have asked the driver how much. Like, I mean, like, this bus doesn't have like those tap ones. You ask for how much, and they pay. Then you pay. But this one asked for $3. It's the same person that just asked when you were walking past by her. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the first animation. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Moving on to the second animation right now. Okay guys, for the second animation is called The Hotel. Alright, it's another by Nightmare Tales. I have already given you guys a shout out already, so yeah, The Hotel. Now, nothing else to say. Let's get reacting.
On a cold and dark Friday night, a young couple had just completed their long journey into the mountains for a weekend away at an extremely secluded and exclusive resort hotel.
That's winter season.
Day, the man had surprised his girlfriend by picking her up from work with her bags already packed. The girl was very impressed and was excited to stay at what looked like a beautiful and luxurious hotel. When they entered the lobby, they were slightly unsettled that not only was there no one at the reception to greet them, there was no one to be seen anywhere. At first, she thought that her boyfriend had failed to make a booking, but then she noticed their key, just left on the desk with a tag that read, Davis, room 75. Figuring that the hotel had some staffing issues, they took the key and made their way up to the room. When they got to their room, they were both a little surprised at what they saw. The furnishings of the room were extremely dated. In fact, it was so old there was no ensuite bathroom. They would have to use the communal one, which was located all the way at the other end of the cold, dark hallway.
My God.
The room also had iron bars on the inside of the windows. For security reasons, they figured, but it still certainly seemed a bit off-putting and did nothing to add to a warm, romantic atmosphere. They decided they could bear this for one night, and once they managed to see some staff members, they would ask for another room, or just leave. They got settled in, and the woman ventured down the hall and enjoyed a nice, hot shower. At least the water is hot and the bathroom is clean, she thought to herself. It was then she thought she heard voices.
No.
She turned off the water and listened intently. What she heard next chilled her to the bone. It was a man's voice, saying they would come tonight to take the girl. This sent a shiver through her spine, and she immediately finished her shower in order to get out of there. She peered out from behind the door, expecting to see someone, and, to her surprise, the hallway was completely empty. She went back to the room and then told her boyfriend what she had heard. He told her she was crazy, as he's had a look around while she was showering. There was no one in the entire hotel. It would appear that they're completely alone. They went to bed and were surprised at how comfortable the bed actually was. They both drifted off to sleep quickly. That was until the woman heard a noise. "Someone's trying to get in," she thought. She called out to her partner. "Dave, someone's coming," she said. "Don't be ridiculous," he said. "It's probably the wind. Look, we're completely safe. The door is locked and bolted, and the windows have bars, right? No one can get in here." This made her feel mildly better. However, she still couldn't fully get settled, especially since what she had heard earlier
Just
had
go to
crawled
sleep.
back into her mind. Suddenly, she heard a noise again.
No.
Then she looked over the end of the bed at the fireplace. The fireplace, she thought. They're going to come down the chimney. She got out of bed and looked up the chimney. "Dave,
Girl, just
wake
go to
up,"
bed.
she said.
Just go to
"The
bed.
chimney's not secure. They might come down here." Dave had woken up. In fact, he'd been awake the entire time,
Wait,
waiting
the
to
door's
open the
open.
door.
Why is the door
He let
open?
in two men in dark robes. They entered the room and stared directly at the girl.
No.
The girl knew they had come for her. She tried to scream, but couldn't. "What the hell is going on?" she thought. "Dave, what have you done? Why?" It appeared that he didn't care at all. Dave did nothing as the two cloaked figures moved closer and closer to his girl. They grabbed the girl and dragged her down the hall,
No.
into the darkness. As it turns out, a week earlier, Dave had incurred some massive losses at a mafia-run blackjack game. He had no way to pay his debts, so he offered up his girlfriend. They accepted, and then they set up the stay at the hotel to make it happen. Dave left the hotel, relieved that his debt was clear, without a hint of guilt at what he'd just done.
What? Did the guy kill himself? Like in the car? Probably like kill himself. But you're not a very good boyfriend. That's the first thing. That's the first thing that I'll say. You're not a very good boyfriend to the girl. Because like, why would you not save your girlfriend from the two guys? And the girl shouldn't have woke up. She should just go back to bed. Anyway, moving on to the final animation for this part of this series. Animation number 3. I'm moving on to animation number 3 right now. Hey guys, so for the last and final animation for today's part 20 and series 2, it will be called The Little Man. Alright, so due to the last 2 animations that I reacted in this part, they weren't that scary. They were just stories, creepy stories. So yeah, let's get reacting. The Little Man.
In New York City, hundreds of people pass away every single day. Some die naturally, some are murdered, and others take their own lives. Akin to other large cities around the globe, employees of the medical examiner's office are tasked with the transporting of the deceased from the scene of the death to the city morgue where an autopsy is performed, or directly to a mortuary where the coroner has determined on scene that an autopsy is not necessary. This is the story of one of those workers. Sarah and her co-worker from the medical examiner's office attend to several call-outs per day. Sarah has struggled with remaining impartial to what she encounters at each scene, as the removal of a body can be a very grim detail. Bloody and damaged bodies are bad enough,
That's a
But badly
murder.
decomposing bodies are much worse. These bear a unique and unforgettable odor and can often be bloated with maggots and other insects.
No.
At the end of each day, Sarah returns to her apartment, which is far from where she has spent most of her day. However, the scenes of what she has witnessed are at the very forefront of her mind. On this day, as with any other, she enters her apartment and switches the light on.
No. There's a...
She then
Did you guys see that? What in the world? There's a black figure inside her apartment. And I think that's the title of the video, called The Little Man.
switches the light on. She then heats up some food and tries to erase her mind of everything she has seen while she eats.
That kind of look like blood. Is it actually blood?
She's never too successful at this though, as her mind begins to analyze each and every death, one by one, thinking about the life the person led, their birth, their first day at school, their happy times, and sad. Try as she might to switch off, she fails. You see, Sarah's husband passed away over 12 months ago. The pain of this loss is still all too real for her, and she just hasn't been able to let it go. She showers for over an hour, letting the water run over her head and down her body, in a sense hoping that the hot water will take the sting away with it as it cascades over her and away, down the drain. Suddenly, the light goes out. Not
No.
perturbed by this at all, she just stands there, sighs loudly, and realizes that this will be as good a time as any to shut it off and head to bed. She fumbles around in the dark and manages to find a box of matches.
Did you just see that? The figure? Oh, that's weird.
And a candle. She lights it and slowly carries it to her bedroom, going through the events of the day in her head one more time and preparing her mind for the next.
No. What the freak? I don't know why. I just feel like hearing her. Look at it.
She goes to bed and has a broken, restless sleep, waking several times with the images of the dead and the face of her lost loved one. The next day is more of the same. More dead bodies, some that had died naturally, some that were murdered, and some that took their own lives.
Oh my god.
Upon coming home again, Sarah goes through her usual routine. She eats, showers, and then takes herself off to bed. However, this time, as she goes to switch the light out, she senses something in her doorway. Someone or something is standing right there.
No.
She switches the light back on, and it's gone. She's frozen with fear as she's certain that she just saw a little man standing in her doorway. She stares at the doorway and calls out. Nothing. Several minutes go by. She wants to run, but to where? She would have to go out that door regardless. She can't move. She can't remember when she last took a breath. As she exhales and slowly inhales again, she notices a hand at the doorway, and then a faceless head slowly comes into view from the side. Sarah pulls up her covers closer to her face as the little man enters the room and disappears out of her view. She stares off into the darkness, and then she sees him slowly come into view, rising up at the end of her bed.
No.
She looks closely and then can make out his face. It is indeed a little man. Sarah stares back at him from behind her covers, trying to scream, but nothing comes out. And he comes closer. He sits himself down in front of her, and then he speaks. He tells her not to worry. He won't hurt her. He just wants to talk. And over the next several hours, that's just what they do. They talk. They talk about all sorts of things. Her life as a child, her marriage, her husband's death, and how much she has struggled with her work and her life since his passing. Their conversation goes on late into the night, and by the end of it, she finds herself feeling so much better. So much better, in fact, that she sleeps all the way through until the morning. For the first time in over a year. Her day at work is once again nothing out of the ordinary.
Oh my
And when
God,
she comes home,
what's wrong with all
she
these
feels
dead
so clear
bodies?
and relaxed. She heads to bed and settles in feeling so...
Do you guys see a note? Like, I see this every single scene. It's like where the dead bodies are, and then you can see this little letter here. Oh crap. I think it was here.
As she's dropping off though, she feels the presence of something behind her. She wakes, turns, and stares closely at a small envelope on her bedside cabinet. The shocking realization of what is about to happen to her is overwhelming. She replays the scenes of death in her mind. She now recollects that each and every one of them had the exact same envelope in the room, each and every time. She knew she was about to join them. She had made her choice, and she regretted it horribly.
So what this means is that you guys see, like, when they die, all of the, you can see the letters, the envelopes everywhere. So that means she is going to be the last one to be dead. And like that letter on her desk cabinet, which means that she is going to be dead. Like, you can see all the dead bodies, and then you can see like this very envelope that they show actually. It actually means that you are next to be dead. So I thought the little man, I thought he's gonna, like, when she's gonna cover, I thought that the little man is going to jump out, like jump to her, but then instead of just talking about, I don't know, maybe a little man is trying to tell her something that she doesn't want to hear. Like, she's going to be the next one to be dead. So I think that's what the story is all about. But I hope you guys enjoyed this part 20th. That is the end of series 2. I'm gonna be continuing series 3 in the next Saturday. The next Spooky Scary Saturday, series 3, I guess. Yep. Series 3, there's gonna be a lot of very, very cool animations and films. Everything will be put up to you guys. So stay tuned. And yes, Subscribe if you guys are new. Turn on post notification to get notified when I upload a new video, which is Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And hit the like button. Let's aim for 20 plus likes. And go and visit my go and check what is it? Go and go and follow my social medias in the description down below, my Twitter and my Instagram, and go and check out my merch store in the description down below. You'll be getting the same thing, exactly like this. So yeah, and I will link all of these videos that was put up for you guys today in the description down below, so you guys can go and check it out for yourself. And yeah guys, I will see you guys next time. Adios.